Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Truck Talk and welcome back to Time with Jesus. You know, sometimes you just look at life and you go, wow. And then you look at the times when Jesus is moving around in those wow moments where you go, you feel like, Jesus, where are you? And then all of a sudden he disappears. Things start to change around in your life. You know, lately, you know, it's like I kind of felt like weighed down, you know, and all this stuff that was going on. And you look at life and you start looking at the world and you're looking at the events that are taking place. I was reading a tablet over the weekend. And I was looking on there about changing, how the events would change and how the world would become. And the things that he was speaking to me in prayer time, that these things would take place. You know, but the promise is that he shall take care of us. And that's what gives me the strength to move on. You know, we go to work, and it doesn't matter if it's a job. It could be a job in itself is running a household. You know, taking care of children, cleaning the house, doing whatever your responsibilities through that day is. Going to pick up kids from school. Now that alone is a chore in itself. Enter in one way, enter out another way. Come in this way, you got to come in after school. Come this way. Meet them up here, do this. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. That's what our world has become. Identity. Identify yourself. You make sure the child, not saying that that's a bad thing, the child doesn't end up in the wrong hands. These days it happens a lot. We may sit there and get tired of it, but when you're finally tired of something, start praying for it. I recommend you start praying for these things beforehand. All these children that are getting abducted, you know, even if they get an opportunity to get away, start praying that they have a normal life afterwards. You know, I've been through some crazy moments in life. I don't think I can't even relate to that. So I sat back yesterday and I was thinking about it and going, you know, that's about the only thing so far that I can think of that I can't relate to. It's sad. I think about 9/11 when everybody went together and prayed, people running the church because they're fear. If that's what fears you, I feel sorry for the majority of the people. That it takes a major attack on this earth in these United States for you to run to a church and pray. But as soon as it's all good, you go back to your normal ways. It's like, again, using God and Jesus for an ATM. Well, eventually, as they say, all things has a consequence to it. Where you're going to be at. You know, you may go on this whole entire life. You may go through the resurrection. You may look at it and go, he was just a prophet. Show me a prophet that can do the things that Jesus did. Because you don't want somebody to change you. You don't want to be changed. You don't want to give up on lustfully earthly desires. Because the flesh is more powerful than you are. Your own flesh. The desires is more powerful than you. Because you're not willing to give it up. Well, I gave up all this. Well, yeah, la-di-da. It still is dragging you into a path that you don't need to be on. What if Jesus would have said, well, hey guys, let me tell you something here. In order for you to receive heaven, I have to go to the cross. Well, hey, I've done a lot since I've been here. I've healed people. I've brought people back to life. I made people that were blind from birth see. I made people get up and be able to walk again. You know, I think I've done enough. Well, Jesus, if you don't, nobody else here can do this. Well, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to give up that when I think I'm good. Well, yeah, we know you're good, Jesus, but we can't get into heaven without you going to that cross. It's like your birth has no meaning. Doesn't matter. I've done enough. Haven't you done enough? Well, yeah. Well, okay, we're all good. Well, no, Jesus, that's how the devil makes us think. Oh. Well, then if you know these things, then why do you do these things? Why can't you let go of them? Here you go. My child? Yes, Lord? That's a big suitcase. Yeah, I want you to go pack your whole entire house into the suitcase. And when I tell you, I want you to bring it over here, and when you're going to take it to heaven, and you're going to be able to put all this nice stuff away. Oh. Well, now that you say it like that, Lord, how am I going to carry that big suitcase? Well, you can't. I understand. Nothing I have here I can take with me. That's true. The only thing you're capable through me is your salvation. So why then do you cling to such things? That is no good. That's going to lead you. You ever watch a movie? I mean, you watch today's movies and it's rated R. You might as well say it's triple X here, because that's what these things are becoming. Even cartoons. All of it. What we watch takes into our brain, and eventually you're living that life. Eventually you're watching things you shouldn't be watching. Eventually you're out of control spending. You're out here buying, whatever the process may be in your life. Someone said a while back, well, what is a liar? Somebody don't tell the truth. What else should you do? Why can't they tell the truth? Because they're under an influence of nastiness. Pride. I was just reading this morning about this whole situation. Someone that's in a conversation and wants to talk, to show how important they are, how smart they are. Not very smart if you never hear anybody else talk around you. So you should be the first one in line. You know so many things. You should be the first one in line when Jesus calls. Your name should be read off first because you're the smartest of the smartest. But wait. You've got something wrong. You lived an earthly, fleshly life. You're not so very smart now, are you? Because that pathway leads you away from Jesus. Jesus doesn't lead away from you. You get led away from him because you allow the temptations and the desires of your flesh which is more important. Well, Nelson, calm down here for 1 second. Let me talk. Okay, well, then talk. Well, let me tell you, I get up early in the morning and I read. I get up and I pray. I get up and I make sure that everything's ready to go for my day. Okay, I'm with you. Doesn't sound like so bad so far. I make sure the kids are up. I make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. They have the stuff that they need for the day. All right, I'm still with you. I go to work. I come home. I ask my wife how her day was. All right. I might have to go outside and mow the lawn. Then I want some me time. Okay? And I might go to the gym. I might go play basketball or something with my friends. Okay. Why are you saying like that? Well, I'm just listening to you. I mean, continue on. And then I come home and I get a shower and, maybe have a snack or something and, watch some TV and kids haven't got their homework done yet, asking a bunch of questions. Go see your mom. Your mom's smart. You done yet? No. Wednesday nights we go to church. On Sunday morning before church, I go in and do fellowship and go to Sunday school class and help set stuff up and just doing my good deeds. Oh, well, what do you do through the rest of the week? I said, well, it's pretty much the same routine. I see. What do you mean? I just said I see. But the way you said it, I didn't say it no particular way. I'm sorry you took it there. Well, I just think you got something to say. Well, okay. If you want to hear it, I'll tell it. I'm not trying to offend you, but if you're offended, then why? I don't know. I haven't even heard what you said, but now I'm already offended because I said, why are you getting so hostile right now? I mean, calm down. Well, I don't like the way you're saying it. Like, where am I in the wrong? What, does your wife work? Yes. She's a teacher. Okay. Okay, what? Well, that explains the school thing. So, when does your wife get me time? What do you mean? Why does she need me time? Supposed to be taking care of the house and stuff. That's what the Bible says. Well, no, the Bible says she's a helpmate. She's the help. We also have a responsibility. So, you're telling me that she just got pregnant with your children by herself. Oh, that's a grace from God right there then, huh? What a blessing and a miracle that would be. What? What do you mean? If you're not the father and she hasn't messed around on you, then I guess God gave her, like he did, Mary. Well, no. They're my children. We do the adult thing, and I'm like, okay. So it's not okay for her to have me time. And she comes home after working. She has to go straight into cooking, cleaning, making sure whatever the household's doing. While you go and do what you do, come home and take a shower, relax, have a snack. Until the kids go see their mom. Do you really think that's a fair relationship? I would be quiet. Vice versa. You can flip the roles however you want. We tend to live what we want instead of what Jesus wants. Halloween's coming up. If you look at the whole, I mean, they already got it. We were looking at, I don't know, Darlene was looking at some clothing. And I turned around and I was looking at the Hallmark section of cards. I seen Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's not even September. So I was like, well, let's go see if they got the Christmas decorations out yet. Not yet. They're working on it. They got the Halloween stuff coming out. They already got Halloween candy, which I'm sure they probably sell an awful lot of. Ridiculous prices. I seen a bag of candy. I think it was like $15, $16. Like, no thank you. You know, you think about what Jesus did on that cross. You think about what he gave up. I think very hard before I do anything. I'm not perfect. I'll be the first to tell you. I think I repent more about my thoughts anymore than I do anything else. Good example. Here's what happened. I'm going to share something with you. This just happened a couple days ago. Saturday. Matter of fact. Darlene's birthday's coming up in September. Being the trucking industry and the way things go, you never know. Our holidays, we celebrate pretty much whenever. And I'm kind of glad that she's okay with it. Not that she would prefer it, and I don't like that she has to accept something. But for the most part, we're not very much on holidays in the time frame because there's no little kids, there's no grandkids, and so, you know, what does it really matter? You know, the dates are what they are. Thanksgiving, I'm in Thanksgiving every day. Christmas, I celebrate the birth of Christ, and I thank him for his life, and I thank him for the cross that he bared for us. I do that daily. Because without that cross, I have no chance. No chance. You have no chance. None. You can't make it on good works. You can't make it on good deeds. If you don't even have love, you can't do nothing. It's useless. It's like fasting without praying. Useless. Looking in the Bible, it's in there. So where do you go? Is your life showing Jesus? Or is it showing evil? Here's what happened. Glad you asked. Thank you for reminding me. I have to listen sometimes to you guys talk. They say, Nelson, did you really fell and hit your head? Sometimes I wonder how many punches I've taken to my head that I go, glad I got a brain left. But anyways, so we've been needing another car. And being the fact that she's had her Trailblazer for a while, I know she always says our car. Nah, I bought it for you. It's yours. So we sold it off and ended up getting it back. And heard a bunch of nonsense over all that. Because the person that bought it had other goals in mind. There's no parts for this thing. You can't do this. They can't fix it. They can't fix the manifold. And I'm on my phone looking up all the parts going, yeah, right, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Then it dawned on me when the Lord spoke, they are after other desires. They have to have the bells and whistles to show that they have made it in life. The problem is, none of this stuff's in your name. Well, then let's go get married. Good luck. Anyways, that's not what happened. So, the car's getting older, so I'm looking around. You know, we went a couple weeks back, and we were at a car lot, and I'm like looking around trying to get an idea because I know she likes the Dodge Durangos. She was a big fan of the Jeep Cherokees and stuff. And she wanted some other kind of different kind of SUV. So my thing is, I'm barely going to drive this thing. And it's her gift. Why should I pick out something that I like that she's not going to? If that's the case, I'm going to get a 69 Dodge Charger with the 01 painted on the side. I would. Or I would get a 76 or somewhere in the 70s Volkswagen Beetlebug, which I love them cars. I don't know why. I know it's strange, but I just love them. I mean, I literally found one. The guy was selling up in Pennsylvania. By the time I got a hold of him, he already got rid of it. I would have went and got it. He only wanted $500 for it. And he had another motor that he was going to give with the car. So, I truly would have went and got it. I didn't care if I would have had to go up there. If I would have had to rent a little U-Haul and a trailer and go up there and bring it back, I would have. That's how much I like it. Now, would she be joyful about that? Well, as soon as I get this thing running, you're going to have a nice little car. No, I won't. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine, literally imagine doing that to someone? They'd be like, let me get this right. So the next time I go buy you a gift, I'm going to buy me something that I really like. How can you go wrong? You get the gift that you always wanted. Merry Christmas. But anyway, so I pay attention. She used to love driving the Dodge truck we had. It was a 2500 heavy duty. The guy put extra different springs and stuff on it and lift springs. And this thing was a beast. She loved it. Me, it was just another truck. I liked it, don't get me wrong. Not that I didn't like the truck. But it was a plow truck. So underneath of it got really rusty. It was going to cost more than what it was to fix it. Especially when you're living on an income that is not so great now. So she's seen this Ford truck at this one lot, and she really liked it. She kept going back to it, and I just watch her smile, and I was like, huh. So then I'm online and I'm looking, and I found a red one. Set up higher. She likes the height and stuff to it. And, make a long story short, the color, the rims, there's a little rust spot on the back above the bumper on the driver's side and around the fender rails need to be sanded down a little bit, clear coated, and just repainted. There's no holes or nothing like that. So I take her out. Well, she figured it out when I said we have an appointment to go to. She figured it out, so I showed her the truck to save us a drive out there. She didn't like it. It wasn't a really bigger car lot, but they did have some nice cars on it. She loved it. She loved the rims, the color. So I'm like, this is a win-win situation. So we drive out there, and we sign the paperwork gets signed, and we go to leave, and hand her the keys, and I'm driving the Trailblazer back, and she's like, "You're gonna let me drive back?" Yeah, it's your truck. Enjoy it. I mean, I drove it yesterday a little bit around. We went to finally got to see the grandson play football. He actually scored a touchdown. And then I was hungry, so we left. So I was glad I got to see him score the touchdown. And it's an open door, I guess. Hoping that the past is just done with and we can move on in life. But I don't push envelopes. I don't push anything, and I let God do what He does. And I let the Lord prune out of my life anything that He doesn't want there. If He doesn't want this, then that was it. At least I got to see that. And as I keep praying for Darlene, that she gets to see her granddaughter. And, that she gets to have that relationship again. Because I believe her granddaughter would really need that. It's going to be the most godly influence that she's had. And it was sad because Darlene became mom, then grandma, and she was doing a lot of stuff through the pantry, and I mean, that's exhausting, all that work she had to do. Oh. And then go get her from school, make sure her homework was done, go through all this stuff, and the mother just did whatever she wanted to do. I look at it and go, some people say I have a lot of patience. I don't know if I got frustrated sometimes, because when you come in and you go, I gotta sit and wait on someone to come pick her up, her dad and stepmom to come pick her up. Well, we're over at Tyler's mom right now, which was right around the corner from us. You could not swing by and get her, and it's up to us. Everybody else lives their life because they're not doing the right things. See, even though I was tired and I knew I only had a certain amount of time at home, sometimes it's 34 hours and I'm home. Well, part of that 34 hours, I'm getting in, I'm going to bed. Well, there's most of my time right there. And then I got to leave back out. I mean, you think about it, if I get in at 5 o'clock, my time starts right there, even though I'm not home. So you add up 34 hours, 5 to 5 p.m. the next day is 24. Slap on 10 more hours, you're out the door. Doesn't seem very fair, does it? That's the trucking world. But it was okay for them to do these things over and over and over and over. See how the world ways goes? A godly person would go, no, let me go pick up the child first. We're going in that direction. And I'm talking 8, 9 o'clock at night, people. It's like, I get a little bit irritable when I'm tired and hungry. Okay, it's not so true. I get a lot. I really do. Sometimes I can get really irritable and I'm apologizing to everybody around me. Most of the time when I get like that, I just tell Darlene, look, I'm tired, I'm hungry, the pain kicks in or not, whatever the situation is, get back to what happened. But you see how we have to stop and have our thoughts real fast. You got to be able to stop and hear what's going on and start asking Jesus, show me the open door out of this mess. Sometimes it doesn't happen so fast. So we're leaving there, and she's following me back, and I'm looking in there, and a couple of times I looked in the mirror, and I was like, who's following me like this? Not even realizing it was Darlene. Took my mind's all over the place. So, so we're on our way back, getting into the Fairlawn Montrose area, and I'm like, well, she likes to eat salads. So I'm like, okay, we're around here. I know she's hungry. She didn't eat breakfast. I at least ate breakfast. And I said, I'll go to Rockies. She likes the salads and stuff there. So we go to Rockies, stop off. We leave back out. We get back going towards the expressway. And the one lane, the left lane, cancels out and goes into one lane to the right. Sign clearly up there. I don't remember looking at it, probably because I've been on that dang on road so many times. I probably just automatically just jumped in the right lane because I've seen them signs so many times because I've traveled through them so many times. It's amazing what your brain will remember, and you just automatically do something because it's not multitasking. You just do it so much. It becomes a pattern. It's like getting up in the morning and you change something, your whole day's correct. So I go on. There's an Enterprise on the left of me, and I'm going. He starts to come over, and I'm going, nice. You know, I'm doing the right thing, and you just want to invade on there and almost. When you got to make someone stop, it's wrong. Just like driving truck. You got to make someone back up because you didn't set yourself up right to make that turn. They shouldn't have to be. But cars should also be behind that white line. You're over that white line and we got to try to turn. Now you got to back up because you're not doing what I did everything I had to do to make that turn. And I still can't do it because you took my space. So who's at fault? Even though I might not have paid that much attention, or I might have set myself up before I started making that turn way before you got there. See, there's a lot of things that changes. But I can't re-change once I'm already set to do what I'm doing. Only thing I can do is sit there through another light, and I'm going to piss off a lot of people behind me. Is it their fault now because somebody doesn't want to do the right thing? Well, here we go with this. So the Enterprise guy cuts me off, and now I'm already frustrated. I'm going, nice. So now my brain's already in overdrive working. Here comes this car, and I tell you people, I couldn't even tell you what kind of car this was. This happened so fast. He comes flying back. Now, I don't know the whole story until the end of this. He comes whipping past me. And I'm talking that close to smacking the front of my fender. I laid on the horn. Seeing this sunroof opening up, I'm like, what's he doing? Whips out his hands, flipping me off, and it just constantly doing. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I seen him as he was going by. It was a younger kid. I'd say early 20s, mid 24 at the most. Got his little tank top, muscle shirt on, and I'm just like, come flying past me. When he put his fingers out the window like that, I don't know, it was like this switch, something switched it. And I was like, oh no, not today. And I just floored it. I mean, floored it. Now, I'm not even paying attention to who's beside of me, what's going on, where traffic is. I pulled up next to him, and he's steadily flipping me off. We got our windows down, and he's screaming all this stuff. The old this and that. I couldn't make out everything he was saying. And he's like, well, pull over then. I said, let's do it. And I'm going like this. He's pointing, I'm going, well, go on then. He gets behind me, and he steadily got his turn signal on, flashing, flipping me off, and all this stuff. And I'm like, fine. So I jerk the car over, get off on the side, do it up in park. Well, the shifter's on the ground, but put it in park. Took my seatbelt off. As soon as I opened the door, I watched this car start pulling out a little bit. And I'm thinking, man, you better not hit my freaking car and slam this door in on me. I had one foot out and I started to stand up. And he speeds off and goes real slow, laughing at me, flipping me off, yelling a bunch of crap, and then floors it. Doesn't even stop, people. He just floors it over and goes over all these lanes and takes off. I was shaking so bad. I was so like, I seen fire. And all I kept thinking is, you picked the wrong day, boy. And all this angers in me, and all this hate, and it's like all this came out of me that I thought that was gone. Now, granted, Darlene never ever seen me. She's seen me get upset, and get mad, and do things. Never liked the way I was, and I'm glad she wasn't in the car because she probably would have been like freaking out. I know most normal women probably would have been. Well, she pulled in behind the guy. And I'm looking at him, he looks up, and if either he thought, man, the first thing that I didn't even pay no attention to what was going on between all that. I just seen him look up, and that's what made me look up. And I said, first thing I'm thinking is, great, he has somebody following him. In reality, it was Darlene. Once I seen her truck there, I'm like, man, she's probably thinking, don't get out of the car. What are you doing? So when we get to where we're going, we went home to drop off the Trailblazers because we started to go to the store and stuff. So we get to where we're going, to the house, and I don't even know if I told her I was sorry for acting like that, and then I had to repent all the way home and ask Jesus for forgiveness for acting. I allowed the devil to push buttons that I thought was done. Let me come back to this. I have to take this call.